The crown is cracking under the weight of a £19 million betrayal, and the Royal Integrity 2026 dossier is the explosive smoking gun that proves the Parker Bowles family hasn't just been living in the palace, they've been raiding the vault. We are talking about a full-scale financial coup staged in the dead of night by the Prince of Wales himself. This isn't just budgeting, it's a brutal clinical extraction of a shadow court that has been bleeding the British taxpayer dry for years while hiding behind the Queen's skirts. For decades, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes navigated the periphery with a calculated, quiet discretion, but the Royal Integrity 2026 dossier suggests they were actually burrowed deep into the royal treasury like parasites. Can you imagine the scene in the West Wing during those suffocating March meetings? William didn't just walk in with concerns, he walked in with a mountain of evidence, a forensic roadmap showing a sophisticated network of payments designed to fund the high-flying lifestyles of people who hold zero official status and perform exactly zero public duties. It's the ultimate royal heist, and the call is coming from inside the house. The betrayal goes deeper than just money, it's the voices of the inner circle that are truly bone-chilling. Andrew Parker Bowles, the Queen's own former husband, has reportedly turned informant, submitting a formal statement to auditors admitting he knew about the special allowances for his children, but was warned to stay quiet to protect Camilla's image. Even more scandalous? The Queen's sister, Annabelle Elliot, has essentially cracked under the pressure. Memos suggest she admitted to inflating invoices for estate renovations. Except the money wasn't going to royal palaces, it was being diverted to pimp out the private properties of Tom and Laura. Annabelle has already coughed up $450,000 in a desperate bid to mitigate her legal exposure. If that's not a confession of a criminal scheme, what is? We are looking at an estimated $5,600,000 in annual ghost expenditures since September 2022. When you do the math, that's a staggering $19.6 million that just vanished. They masked it under high-end fashion invoices from Bond Street, listed as wardrobe for international tours. But here's the kicker. Investigators cross-referenced the purchases with photos and found the sizes and styles didn't fit the Queen. They matched Laura Lopes perfectly. It was a private shopping spree on the public's dime. And the security shell game? Thousands were funneled from the Queen's operational budget to private firms for domestic protection. But the guards were actually stationed 24/7 at Tom Parker Bowles' private residence, getting armored transport benefits reserved only for working royals. William's dossier is a direct middle finger to this moral decay, contrasting it with the lean, self-funded operations of Prince Edward and Sophie. Even Princess Anne, the monarchy's legendary no-nonsense enforcer, has reportedly joined William's war room, declaring in a heated meeting that the monarchy cannot survive if its foundations are allowed to rot. Meanwhile, King Charles is reportedly in a state of institutional paralysis, a broken, bewildered man torn between his love for Camilla and the cold, hard proof that her actions have placed the very future of the crown at risk. William isn't waiting for his father to wake up. He has issued a three-step ultimatum that has sent shockwaves through the palace walls. First, total restitution. Tom and Laura have 90 days to liquidate their assets and return the full $19.6 million. Second, total severance. The Parker Bowles family is being erased from royal insurance, security, and medical coverage. Finally, strict surveillance. Every penny from the Queen's office now requires a dual signature from William and Anne. The era of financial ambiguity is over. As William walked out of the West Wing, he reportedly refused to hear a single word of defense from his stepmother, leaving her with a chilling mantra: the monarchy serves the people of this country, it does not serve the private interests of the Parker Bowles family. This isn't just a reform, it's a decapitation of the shadow court. But wait, the forensic analysis gets even nastier. Phase 2 of the leak focuses on medical and aesthetic subsidy scandals. Over $450,000 was billed for specialized health services for the Queen, but appointment logs show the actual patients were Tom Parker Bowles and his family. William has called this a theft of care, a disgusting display of using royal privilege to bypass the same health systems the British public struggles with. Then there's the $1.2 million security upgrade at Tom's house, allegedly performed by firms already under contract for Windsor Castle, with the bills folded into general maintenance. They were building panic rooms for civilians and calling it King's Safety. The pressure has turned the palace into a battleground. Annabelle Elliot's testimony mentions decoration by proxy, where luxury goods meant for Sandringham were delivered straight to Laura Lopes' London townhouse. William is demanding these items back, treating them as stolen goods belonging to the crown. Tom and Laura have retreated into a tactical silence, but their position is untenable. William's argument is lethal. If the king's own brother, Edward, has to fund his own life through transparent budgeting, there is no moral universe where the Queen's children get to live in unearned opulence as if the crown were a private ATM. The visual proof of Laura's dress sizes on the Queen's receipts was reportedly the moment Charles realized he could no longer defend the status quo. This is the end of the line. William's oxygen cut is being implemented with cold clinical precision. The $19.6 million isn't a suggestion, it's a debt. If they don't pay, the Duchy of Cornwall is moving to seize their trust. The final memo from William's office is a warning to anyone left standing. Transparency is the only shield the monarchy has left. If we do not cut out the rot ourselves, the public will do it for us, and they will not be as surgical as I am. The Royal Integrity 2026 leaks have now transitioned into the enforcement and exile phase, and the administrative silence falling over the West Wing is as cold as a tomb. Prince William has effectively bypassed the sluggish royal committees, using his ironclad authority over the Duchy of Cornwall to enact a digital seizure that has left the Parker Bowles faction breathless. As of mid-April, the social quarantine is absolute. Tom and Laura have had their access to every royal adjacent facility, from elite medical wings to diplomatic travel lounges, summarily revoked. This isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a total erasure. Williams' legal team has mapped out a repossession strategy that leaves no room for negotiation. If that $19.6 million isn't back in the treasury within the 90-day window, the Crown is moving to liquidate high-value jewelry and thoroughbred horses identified as contaminated assets. Princess Anne has been the silent architect of this purge, using her encyclopedic knowledge of the royal vaults to track down historical items that vanish from official inventories only to reappear in the private collections of the Parker Bowles family. The most chilling part of this confrontation involves the Silver Drive in Zurich. Queen Camilla's camp reportedly tried to use this shadow ledger as blackmail to force William to blink, but the prince called their bluff with a terrifying ultimatum. Any further attempt at extortion would result in a formal criminal referral to the Metropolitan Police's specialized fraud unit. The dead man's switch they thought would protect them has become a trap. The documents they hold are now a roadmap for their own potential prosecution. Inside the palace, King Charles is described as a ghost, signing the final decrees that strip his stepchildren of their security and financial lifelines. When the king reportedly asked if there was any way to soften the blow for family harmony, William's refusal was bone-chilling. To soften the blow is to condone the crime. We choose the institution or we choose the individuals. We cannot have both. This total victory has led to the Sovereign Transparency Act 2026, a new internal decree that fundamentally rewrites the rules of the game. No non-working relative can ever again touch a single resource funded by the sovereign grant. William has even installed the Sentinel, a digital audit system that flags any invoice over $500 not tied to a public event. Camilla's operational autonomy is dead. She now works under a crown comptroller, an outsider from the National Audit Office who must countersign her every expense. The social whirlwind of Clarence House has been replaced by a monastic, state-approved schedule. Even the Silver Drive is now in the hands of Swiss authorities after British intelligence claimed it contained national security assets. The Parker Bowles era didn't just end, it was dismantled with clinical, surgical ferocity. The fallout is a permanent scar on the monarchy's history. Assets like a luxury apartment in Belgravia and stakes in private consultancies are being seized to pay back the debt to the British state. Princess Anne is even listing unreturned furniture and art as stolen in international databases, making Tom and Laura's private collections unsellable liabilities. In a final radical move, William has authorized the release of a redacted version of the audit to the National Archives, ensuring that the shadow court can never be dismissed as a conspiracy theory. It is now a matter of historical record. The prince's final directive in the dossier serves as the new law of the land. Integrity is not a virtue we possess. It is a standard we must earn every single day. The West Wing has been transformed from a place of secrets into a high-tech audit hub, a testament to a future king who values the taxpayer over his own family's comfort. The shadow court is dead, the debt is being settled in blood and assets, and the House of Windsor has survived, but only by stepping into the harsh, unforgiving light of the truth.